We cannot do anything without God, and He will not do anything without us.
September 28, 2011 should have been the last date on Seth Hanchey's tombstone. It started out like any other day for the ambitious 17-year-old who was serving as a full-time youth pastor and also enrolled as a full-time nursing student. An avid athlete, he was training for a triathlon on a 60-mile bike ride when he was struck from behind by a van driven by an 81-year-old woman. He was thrown over 167 feet and landed against a concrete guardrail. He died twice at the scene and was airlifted to the hospital and taken into emergency surgery to remove the left side of his skull due to the swelling of his brain. He was not expected to live through the night. When Seth died, he stood before God. God told him he had to go back. He had a great purpose yet to fulfill. Doctors implanted a permanent shunt to relieve the swelling in his brain. The shunt was defective and caused an infection that nearly claimed his life once more. Setback after setback, complication after complication. Seth endured 14 different surgeries and spent over 5 months in the hospital, and yet he never gave up. When Seth came out of his coma, doctors said he would be in a perpetual vegetative state with no expression or comprehension and would require constant care. All of his communication pathways were completely destroyed, but God. He didn't accept what the experts had to say. Instead, he fought. He had to relearn basic skills such as how to eat, drink, dress, and bathe himself.
God is not attracted to need, He is attracted to faith. Faith is vicious. Faith is bloodthirsty. It's aggressive by nature. Faith must have the fire of desire.
When the doctor said he would be paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life, he fought. When they said he would never walk again, he fought harder. He had to push through chronic pain. God spoke to him at that moment saying, "Come on, Seth, push." Determined to walk again, he wore the same shoes he was wearing during the accident.
How far would you go for your blessing? Push through the press. Push through your press. If you want it bad enough, you will tear what is supposed to be a boundary, a natural boundary. You'll tear it down. You'll push right through it. How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you'll break through the chains. You'll break through your boundaries. Anyone who says you can't do it, you prove them wrong.
He began to train on the same bike he was riding at the time of the accident. He didn't forget where God had brought him from. He didn't become bitter or angry at what was taken from him. Instead, he chose to worship, to give God all the glory. When the medical professionals said his memory, personality, vision, speech, and comprehension was permanently damaged, God said different. When doctors said it was medically impossible for him to run with a traumatic brain injury, he began training for a 5K. 1 year after coming home from the hospital, he proved them wrong when he crossed the finish line.
The traumatic brain injury didn't end Seth's life. It didn't stop him from attending his first prom or from having a long-term relationship. It didn't stop him from having a life. In fact, he successfully enrolled as a student at Louisiana Tech University and is in the process of enrolling in massage therapy school to specialize in cranial sacral massage therapy and acupuncture. Seth chose to use his T.B.I. to help others who have experienced trauma, to give them hope and remind them of their purpose. Seth continues to struggle with apraxia and some aphasia, both neurological conditions that make it difficult to speak, read, and write what he wants to say, as well as difficulty initiating and performing the movements needed to make speech. Visit TeamSethFoundation.org. Watch the videos that document his progress from the time of the accident until now. Continue to follow his miracle story by sending a friend request to Team Seth on Facebook. The Team Seth Foundation is a 501c3 organization providing financial assistance to children with TBI to assist with medical and therapy expenses. If you would like to invite Seth and his mom Kimber to speak at your church, school, or event, go to TeamSethFoundation.org. Their motivational message is one of hope and overcoming the impossible.